promise. A grain of sand, 7:15:11. One of my favorite stories is Lord of the Rings. The trilogy inspires me no end. And one of the characters in it is Frodo, and he is the grain of sand. There was this massive machine of evil, of hurting people, of creating mass destruction, and he was going to put an end to it. Being small, I have felt often overwhelmed by the odds of the world, of the persecution of others, and of the idea that maybe in some way I was powerless to change my environment or the evil in the world around me. As I grew up, I started to understand that everyone has the ability to be a grain of sand. A grain of sand is very powerful. Think of it this way. How many times have you had a grain of sand in your shoe? You walk along, everything's going fine, and after a while that grain of sand has worn a blister right in the middle of your foot. It's just a grain of sand. A grain of sand can stop a weapon from working, or a mechanism. For instance, a helicopter. When they were flying helicopters in Desert Storm, one of the biggest problems they had was they didn't have filters to keep sand from getting into the rotor blade area that then destroyed the mechanism that kept the helicopters running. It was an oversight that has been corrected now, but there are many times where a grain of sand, one single grain of sand, has made a huge difference. Let me read you a quote. It's Luke 18:2-8. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable that showed them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, in a certain town there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared about men. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with her plea, "Grant me justice against my adversary." And for some time he refused. But finally he said to himself, "Even though I do not fear God or care about men, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually wear me out with all her coming." And the Lord said, "Listen to what the unjust judge said. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him night and day? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, he will find faith on the earth." When you are small and you feel overwhelmed, I want you to remember the widow. Sometimes it takes persistence for that small thing to make a difference. You can jam a weapon and keep it from firing. You can ask for justice in our courts, in our government, in our voting booths. Every single grain of sand matters. You matter. And if you will take your power to yourself and understand that the persistence that you have, by wearing away the machinery, by jamming the gun, we can create peace on this earth. And we can keep it here because we will build on it. God bless the whole world, no exceptions. Angel